Hi, this is Clint with Reliable Diamond Tool. We're going to be showing you how to polish concrete today. We're going to be going from this epoxy-coated floor, about 10 to 12 mils, all the way to this highly polished 3,000 grit slab of concrete. We're going to be doing this in a region with very hard, very difficult to polish concrete, Phoenix, Arizona. And to do this, we're going to be using a Turco machine, model 701, which has two heads. The head on the left is a clockwise head, and the head on the right is a counterclockwise head. Both of these heads have been outfitted with Reliable Diamond Tool speed shift system plates. For more info on those, check our website. We're going to hit the edges first to pull away from the area that we're not doing into the main section of the floor that we are doing. And to do this, we're just going to use regular side angle grinders and Reliable Diamond Tool cup wheels. We're using the 40 grit S segment cup wheel to remove the epoxy, and then we're going to move to a smoother 80 grit H cup wheel. And then to massage the scratches out, we're going to be using just regular Reliable Diamond Tool polishing pads. Then we're going to hit the main part of the floor with PCD diamond combos we call shavers. These are directional specific discs. These will remove the coating very quickly but can leave a large scratch, which is why you might want to use our blue 30 grit epoxy cutters, which are a little less aggressive and take less time to pull the scratches out. So we're going to go ahead and remove the coating with the PCD diamond combo shavers, and then we're going to move to 40 grit yellow bond bevel edge discs. And we're just going to hit the floor from a couple of different directions. We're going to take our time. We're grinding wet. We want to make sure that we remove the scratches that were put in there by the PCD diamond shavers, which can be difficult. So we're just going to show you here a typical pass. And when you start the pass, you're going to be walking straight, taking your time. Releasing water as you go. If you don't have a machine that releases water like this Turco, you can just have one of your crew keep adding water to the floor. This does seem like a long clip, but I assure you polishing concrete takes a lot more patience than watching a long clip of a single pass. Once you reach the end and you start walking backwards, you're going to waffle or wag the machine back and forth as you return to where you started. You want to go in a straight line, waffling the machine, nice and slow. You want to systematically go across the floor like a grid, and this will ensure that you are not missing anything. Once you reach the very end, you will turn the machine, overlap about half of where you were before, just looking at the slurry pattern. This will ensure maximum coverage and make sure you're massaging those scratches out, which is another reason why you're waffling the machine, to make sure you get all those scratches out. Once you've done the job with your 40 grit diamonds, we're going to go ahead and move to 80 grit. We're going to be using the same bond, Reliable Diamond Tool yellow bond. These are a 4-segment disc, speed shift. You can see the tab up there at the top. And then we're going to go ahead and start moving with those. We're grinding with these wet also. You can see the area that we've done, this area that we've not. You can see the slurry there on the right that's creating. Speaking of slurry, you're going to see a lot of it on the floor. To remove it, just scrape it up. If you don't have a wet vac, shovel it, and then just dispose of it properly into a bucket or another receptacle. Then we're going to move to our resin pads. Resin pads with Reliable Diamond Tool are called XBL, the L standing for long life. These attach to speed shift driver shoes. Driver shoes, once they're on the machine, the Velcro backing on our pads just attached. Then we're going to start with 30 grit. Move backwards, that way we can make sure the scratches are all out. Again, grinding wet. Then we're going to move up to 50 grit, again, just taking your time, making sure you're massaging those heavy scratches that were put in by the PCDs. And then we're going to go to 100s. All of this is going to be done wet. And then we're going to go to 200s. After 200, you're going to go and clean off the floor. You're going to inspect closely for scratches. If you need to go back, it's best to do this now or you'll never get the scratches out once they're polished into the floor. Then we're going to hit the edges using our polishing pads on our side angle grinder with a backup pad. And then we're just going to kind of blend the edges into the main area of the floor. Then we're going to hit with 400, taking our time, grinding dry this time. Then we're going to clean the floor again. We're going to clean the floor thoroughly, and we're going to continue to inspect for scratches to make sure the floor looks good. Once we're satisfied with how the floor looks, we're actually going to be doing a small stain on this particular slab for this demonstration. So we're going to measure out our area, mark it off, tape it with blue painter's tape, which is good to keep the dye off the rest of the floor. Then we're going to use plastic just to make sure we don't have any overspray or any of the rest of the slab colored that we don't want colored. We're going to be using a Ameripolish walnut for this particular demonstration attached to a valve sprayer, which is you want to make sure you get that little attachment there that you saw, the hole that ensures that it breathes properly. For a bigger area, you're going to be using a acetone-friendly pump-up sprayer. After it's down, you want to go ahead and wet wipe and then dry wipe using just clean water. Wipe it down, make sure it looks good. We wanted this floor to look rich, so we went ahead and did a double application, hitting it from a different direction. Wet wipe, dry wipe again. Now we're going to remove the plastic, being sure not to touch it on any of the rest of the slab. And that when you're done, you're going to have clean lines that look like this. Now we're going to densify the floor using a lithium silicate made by Convergent. Then we're going to spray that on the floor, microfiber it around, and now we want to just make sure we take great care to clean up the edges, making sure that we don't leave any of that debris in the cracks that can come back and scratch the floor. Then we're going to hit with 800 and 1500. This is what the floor looks like after you've polished up to 1500. Then we're going to go to 3000 grit, and now you can see the floor is just absolutely stunning. Very beautiful mirror finish. You can see your face in it. So now if you look at this, it looks like the floor is wet. It is actually not wet. It's just the finished product. Again, you're looking at it, and you can see it's very beautiful. If you look at this shot here, you can actually see the drinking fountains and the reflection. And that's about it. We went from an epoxy coating, about 10 to 12 mils, to that finished product you see in the top right. Very beautiful and long-lasting and everlasting floor. If you have any questions about any of this, you can see more information on our website, www.rdtusa.com.
Diamonds are forever. They won't leave in the night. I've no fear that they might.